up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back. I am back for our Game of Thrones Revisit the Throne series. We are now in season 2. This is episode 1, The North Remembers. And so, as you know what? Make sure you guys let me know if you can hear me and see me because something looks off. I'm gonna try to troubleshoot real quick. Hold, please. See? Got it. Just that fast. I got my girl Moochie in the house. Ow. Drop the hammers for your girl Moochie.
You're going to hear that a lot this episode.
Shout out where you guys are watching from. I want to see what parts of the world we are talking to. Support gaming. Thank you, Damian Robinson, for your Cash App. I got that before we even started. That meant a whole lot to me. Owen, as always, your support is wonderful and greatly appreciated. Support gaming. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Hey. Did I miss anybody? No, I didn't. Okay. Try to share us to the realm, okay? Because we need to get out there so we won't be just watching by ourselves or together.
Yeah, we need to like and share and keep it. You like the purple too, right?
I know, but it kind of messes our background up.
Oh, that's all right. I can zoom in.
I'll do it this way.
All right.
Yeah, because Miss K is coming. We'll get there. The purple will show up eventually.
It's in the middle. Look at the line.
Okay, y'all. Okay, so this is The North Remembers. And this is season 2, episode 1. And I'm going to try to get into, make sure I monitor these comments, everybody. Thank you, On, for letting me know you can hear me. Great. This is actually the person who directed this particular episode is the same one who directed the last 2 episodes. So Alan Taylor. That's just a fun fact. Usually they had, in the beginning, they had a lot of the same directors. That's why they kind of felt similar. But then when we started getting into some other things, we started incorporating different, voices and stuff. And you could tell by the tone, it switched a little bit. So yes, let me see what the description of this episode. Tyrion arrives at King's Landing to take his father's place as Hand of the King. Stannis Baratheon plans to take the Iron Throne for his own, and Robb tries to decide his next move in the war. And the Night's Watch arrive at the House of Craster. Okay. Yes, we got our hammers. I see y'all.
Hey.
Put
a rose up for Nita.
Yes, roses, or I always do that. So where do you want to start, Moochie? King's Landing, the wall at Craster's Keep, or
well, didn't it start with the Kingslayer in the cage? That's where the episode started, with the Kingslayer in the cage.
Okay, was that a Winterfell?
Yeah.
No, that was in the Riverlands.
There, Miss K is backstage.
Yeah, because Jamie is with Catelyn, right?
Mm-hmm. Miss K is backstage.
Oh, I see her. Oh, bad.
Hey. I'm sorry, I don't have my I'm sorry, I don't have my my background because I had to move my studio at the last minute, Sorry about that. Woo! Yeah, so what'd you say about the episode starting off with? It starts off at King's Landing, doesn't it? Where they're doing it's Joffrey's name day and they're fighting.
Right.
The Hound.
I thought it started off with the Kingslayer and then they went there.
The Hound.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Okay, go ahead, Miss K. Start it out with
Oh yeah, so the Hound is he's fighting with somebody, I don't know. And obviously it's the fight to the death, because
Joffrey
Yeah, when
I think it's
when they
him.
dragged that guy out and it was just blood just dragging, I was like, oh my gosh. And Joffrey's like, well struck, dog. And he's asking Sansa, what did you think? Did you like that? And she says, it was well struck, Your Grace. Now she's kind of like being a robot, because remember what happened when she tried to, remember when she went up when he took her to see her father on the spikes or whatever, on pikes. So is it had on spikes? Spikes, right?
Spikes, yeah.
So and then he had Sir Maren smack her around. So now she's like just like a robot. So everything he says, she's like, yes, Your Grace, yes, Your Grace. And he almost don't know what to do with it. It's like he wants to torture her so bad, but because the way she's responding, it's almost like he don't know what the heck to do with it.
Right.
And then in comes Tyrion. And he's like, what the heck is you doing here? So everybody, Tom and Marcella, they're happy to see Tyrion, but not Joffrey. He's like, I thought you was dead. We heard you were dead.
Right. He's like, what are you doing here? He was like, I'm tending to business. And he's right going out of there. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you already know he wasn't taking no ish when he got there. So
no.
we already knew that.
He's nice to the niece and nephew. The other ones.
No, they are nice to him because he's always nice. You're right.
Yeah, those two, I like their relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's like that with Joffrey because Joffrey's a jerk,
He is, though.
And Joffrey hates him, and vice versa, whatever.
And it was funny that you were saying that Joffrey didn't know how to respond, because that's what you do to narcissists. You kind of starve them. You don't give them what they need. And they don't know how to respond to that.
Right.
That was classic, Stonewall that you do.
I know about that now.
Right? I know. Every time I hear that word now, I'm always thinking about you.
Me, right? I did my little research now. Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, she said it was well struck, Your Grace. He said, I said that already. She said, yes, Your Grace. And he just stared at her like he didn't know what to say. Like you said, he just ran into a freaking brick wall. Right. So now they go. I think the next scene is when he goes into the small council meeting, and when what's his name, Varys, he read the letter that Tyrion has been named Hand of the King. Cersei was pissed.
Right.
Everybody out.
Yeah, she was mad. She was mad.
You saw Tyrion looking around like, wow, you're pretty upset.
She big mad.
Once she saw that letter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She was so pissed off. And what happened next after that? So they were talking, and he was saying, look, we were supposed to have 3 Starks to trade. Now we're down to freaking 2. And then she said 1 because Arya, that little animal, they can't find her. And then he's asking her, like, how does it feel to be the disappointing child? And she really looked like she was really like listening
about it.
Like, yeah, I'm thinking about this. Like, you're probably right. Maybe I am.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what happened after that. I think after that they went to Jon Snow, or did they go to Bran? I think Bran was somebody was, how Bran was seeing all the people in Winterfell, and they were kind of talking, how they come to see the lords or they come to see the queen, everybody, you have to hear everybody's
right
plight, whatever. Yeah, right. And the guy is talking about Robb in a certain way, and Bran pretty much had to put him in his place. Like, do you remember your vows? Like, my brother didn't want to fight this war or start this war. You know what I'm saying? They killed my father, your liege lord. So the guy was kind of like, of course I remember my vows.
He was like, I sent all of my boys off to fight
Robb's war.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it like, he I don't think he was expecting, Bran to call him out like that, because he was talking a little like, you're not supposed to talk like that. And even Bran at his young age, he knew that the guy was out of order. Yes, right. That's the word of the day. That's a phrase of the day. Out of order. Out of order.
Yeah.
So Nita, did you have something next, because I'm trying to, I don't know if you wanted me to continue.
Yes, please.
Well, Joe, didn't what you call it, the Kingslayer? Him and Robb had a little chat.
Robb and
yeah,
they probably did, but that happened probably toward later on. So because right now,
at the beginning,
because right now we have them. Then after this scene, we have him talking about what's his name, Bran. They take him to the Godswood. Him and Hodor and also Osha, and they're saying, she's like, you had the dreams, this and that and the third, and they start talking about the comet in this, the sky,
right, and they actually saw it.
Right, and they start talking about what the comet means and everything, and everybody got a different thing to say about the comet. The Lannister, it means the Lannister red. That means they're gonna soon be in charge of all the 7 kingdoms, and then one is red blood for your father.
Dragons born or something.
Right, that was the last one that she said, and it's funny because I'm like, that's good because that was real. And
that was really real, right?
Yeah. And all the dragons are gone. That's what he says. They've been dead for 100 years or hundreds of years. And then that's when they go over to wherever she was. I don't know if that she's still across the narrow sea, but she's still on the other side of the world. And they see her with her Khalasar all up in the desert.
Right.
Looking terrible. Like that braid. It's all jacked up.
Her lips. Did you see how chapped her lips was?
Yes.
I was like, damn.
Everybody's lips are messed up. Like they're in the red waist.
Like they was
the red waist. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Could you imagine being in a place like that where you can't see from the left to the right to the back to the front? Like you don't know where you are, what direction. You know what I'm saying? That's really scary. And they said that that place right there, I think it's known for like people don't really survive like that when they go through it because they claim it never ends or whatever. Yeah. I might be getting a little crossover with the books, but I think it's supposed to like never end or something like that. You don't want to go through there.
Yeah. So, I don't think they really said it in the show, but that's the background of it. And just to kind of let you know that is a dangerous land that they're in. Mm-hmm. So that gives us a lot more context.
Yes.
Yeah. So and then Jorah, he tells her that they will kill her and steal her dragons, take her dragons from her. So they got to be real careful and stuff like that.
And she's like, no one will kill my dragons. No one will take my dragons. It's like she ain't hear nothing else but that.
She didn't even hear the part about them killing her.
Right.
Like, no one will steal my dragons. That's all she heard.
Girl, if you ain't here no more, then what?
Look, she didn't hear none of that.
Nothing else, honey. I was like,
dragons.
I was like, okay, girl. So what's going to happen when you going? Somebody going to take them.
Right. Good is gone.
What was that? What was next after that? Because I was watching it.
It might have been the part that I said I wanted to get to. When
Stannis, right? Yeah. This is when he introduced the freaking red woman.
Yes. And she did make quite an entrance. Like they really like did it up for her like this. I mean, I guess to kind of really signify this God that the Lord of Light that she is worshiping, or that's her thing. So I think that they did a really good job at playing that up and how powerful and how much they believed in it. And that was, for me in the beginning, that is what really gelled the story together for me, because all of the visions and the prophecies and stuff like that for them to turn around in the end and do what they wanted to do. It kind of just underwrote it undermined everything that they kind of put down. They laid down all the groundwork with all this, the Lord of Light, the what is that, the Oathbringer,
Lightbringer,
the whole thing. They did the sword and all that stuff. And I thought that stuff was going to kind of come to pass and kind of see that. So
because she was she was serving his ego, honey. Talking about he was the prince that was promised. He's Azor Ahai.
Yeah.
All of this crap, and it was just like, no, the heck, he's not, because the prophecy is that Azor Ahai will pull out this sword that's on fire, right? And so because he pulled out a sword that was on fire, like, he's supposed to be. I'm just like, you know what? This is so ridiculous. And you could tell Stannis, when I was watching it today, I was like, where the heck did Stannis get her from? Because he was like, the night is dark and full of terrors. Like, he don't even seem like he believes it.
No, but he figured he used anything to win.
Yeah. And like Kay said, she was feeding his ego. She was. So it was like, so he had no choice, you know, but it still seemed like it was half-hearted. Like, he was okay, I'm gonna just go with it.
Right. Whatever it is, like, I think what does he call it? Her fire god or something like that. I think eventually we'll get to that. But then you have Maester Crescent, who's like, he's telling Sir Davos, we have to do something about her. Like, do you see what's going on? We gotta do something about this lady.
She's a fanatic and everybody's following her.
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta do something. Caught up in that religion is easy to get caught up. So
yep. And then he said against it. And Sir Davos is like, I don't serve, any lords or whatever, any gods. I serve Stannis. And then the quote for me of I would say the quote of this episode would be what Maester Crescent said. He was like, did he say part of loyalty? See, I had it. Dang it. So I'm gonna give you the gist of it. Part of loyalty loyal service means telling hard truths. Mm-hmm. And so I like that because that's something that came up again. And it came out of Sir Davos's mouth. So he remembered, even long after Crescent was gone, that's something that stuck with him. Even though it didn't seem like he was very receptive to it when he said it, it stuck with him. We find out later on that it stuck with him because when Maester Crescent said it to him, he was like, and what's the truth? Like, what is that? What's the truth?
Right. And Maester Crescent, he actually dies in this episode?
Yeah, because he tried to poison Melisandre, and she drinks it. Yeah, she freaking drinks it, but nothing happens to her. He's the one start bleeding out of his nose and all that stuff and falls down. Ooh, and, she's telling him he smells like piss and all this crap. I'm like, what?
Yeah, she was just like,
okay. So she came in with a little bit of something behind her.
When he walked over to her, she was like, you smell like piss and something else. I forgot what it was. It was something like to say he was scared.
Yeah, right. In fear or something like that.
Yeah, piss and fear.
So what did y'all think about Stannis' entrance? Did you think it was grand enough? Do you think they made a big enough deal about it? Did it live up to how they wrote him in the books, Miss K? How does Stannis fare?
What's funny with this is that in the books they start right off with him in the prologue and Melisandre. So with the show, they kind of not take their time to introduce him, but it was like in the books they kind of did it straight away. And with this one, it was like, and the prologue was long. So they gave you like all the backstory and all of this and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't know how I remembered when I first saw it with Stannis. I just guess I was just watching, like, what the heck is going on? I don't think I really cared.
Yeah, I don't think that they did a good enough intro for me.
They also discussed the letter that he wrote, that he was giving the dictating to the guy to give to the Lannisters, and he was he was like, my beloved brother. He said, I didn't love my brother. He loved me. Take it out.
Right. He said a lie. Take it out. And then they said something about Jamie, and he was like, call him he said something. Take
call
something
him the
out.
Kingslayer, and then he wanted him to call him Sir the Kingslayer.
He said Sir because he said after all he is a knight. So it's kind of showing that he's he's about the truth, and he's kind of like a stickler for honor, I guess, but not in the way that Ned is, and what.
Right.
It's more like I got to do the right thing, and you kind of learn that as we go along with, as you learn about Sir Davos' story and all that stuff, because he cut off his, he is the one who punished Sir Davos, and why he doesn't have fingers. He doesn't have 4 fingers. He wears a glove.
Okay.
Why did he cut his fingers off?
Because he stole. He was a pirate. And it's a shame because he stole and he saved his life and everything during the siege, but he felt like the rules are the rules. I still have to punish you, but I'm also going to award you and make you a knight. Stupid. It was dumb.
So this was definitely the start of the War of the 5 Kings, right? So we had Stannis coming. Renly was in the mix with that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had Robb. And then we also had Joffrey. I feel like we're missing one. 5 Kings.
It's Balon. It's Balon Greyjoy, but they never really. He's a part of it, but they never really mention him like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other one, the rude one.
Who?
The rude one that had the ugly daughters.
Oh
no, he's not a part of it.
He's not okay, but okay. I don't want to go ahead.
It's what you say again, Nita? Say the people, because I know it, but I just don't. I don't know if it's in my brain.
Stannis, Renly, Joffrey, Robb, and I feel like we're
missing Balon.
And Balon. Okay.
Greyjoy. Yeah, that's Theon's father.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they didn't play that up because
they hardly.
He was supposed to be like the backing to somebody. I don't think he was actually going for it.
He was. It was they didn't do such a good job at letting him be in the running, but
okay,
he was. Maybe in the books they did. Maybe that's why they felt like they had to mention it.
Angela said Walder Frey, not him.
No, he's not in it.
Okay. All right.
Nobody like him.
Dropping by, showing some love. Thank you so much, Tamika.
Thank you, Tamika.
Hi, Tamika.
We gotta go back. Okay. Tamika. It's all right, little girl. Me too. Hey, Brillo.
Brillo, what up?
What up, dude?
What up?
All right, y'all. Do y'all want to move on to where we see Sir
Jamie?
Jamie.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Jamie.
All right, I think Moochie wanted to get to Jamie, so
I know.
Because I like that standoff they had, because he just was like, "Oh, you're just the boy." He's like the boy that's going to cut your head off, the boy that's going to take your. When he ran down everything and added the boy in front of it, I was like, "All right, he's standing up to him." Yeah. Because everybody calls him the Kingslayer, and I know what he did, but the guy's back was turned, so it was like,
right? It don't matter.
There's no honor in that. There's no honor in that.
Yeah. I mean, and if he look, that guy was trying to kill everybody. Right. It don't matter how he did.
It didn't.
I know, but at this time when I was watching it, I didn't like him. And so I had that feeling until later on, and then I'm going to tell you when I changed my mind about it.
Because remember when he kind of had his little standoff with Ned, and Ned was trying to get at him about that too. Like, you stabbed him in the back, and what's his name? Jamie was like, "Would you have rather I stabbed him in the belly?" Like, you know what I mean? Right. He would have still been called the Kingslayer. It don't matter. I think that's what Jamie was trying to say. Like, y'all still would have been looking at me like that. But at the end of the day, I saved millions of
everybody. Yeah,
right. So nobody really looking at it like that. But I look at this point right here, I'm not taking up for Jamie. But I'm talking about
that's all I'm saying. When this was all happening, when I watched it the first go around, I was like, "Oh, I can't stand him."
Yeah.
Get him, Rob.
Yep.
Hi,
hey, Suburbia. The conversation with Brienne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Angela helped, but that conversation was really, but obviously that's way in season 3, so we jumping too far.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to jump ahead. That's why I was like, I had to reel it back.
That was really a good, I mean, that's when we were really able to, know what was going on, what really happened. But right now, we don't know. Right now, he's just the Kingslayer, this guy, and a sister screwer.
Oh, yeah, he wrote that in the letter, too, about the incest.
Yeah.
The Baratheon?
He did?
Yeah, he wrote that in the letter.
He was like, because he had to say that he is the rightful heir, because he said he's not going to make the same mistake that Ned Stark made. I got to make sure you send this to every corner of the realm, or whatever he said, like that, right?
And that's what he did.
Yeah, he said, I'm not going to make the same mistake that Ned Stark did and only send out one letter. I wanted to go to the 4 corners of the freaking realm. Let everybody know.
Yeah, Ned was being too nice, man. That's
right. Right.
Yep.
What Peter Baelish doing in this particular
Oh shoot.
Go ahead, Moochie, because I'm trying to remember. I can't remember, boo boo.
He's a keeper of a lot of secrets between him and the bald-headed dude. I don't know.
Varys.
Yes. Between Varys and Littlefinger, they know all the secrets of the realm.
Mm-hmm.
Now Cersei caught him walking in the corridor, and she had her guards with her, and he told what he knew. He was like, "Oh, you know all these secrets, and you're the keeper of whores and this and that." And then he was like, "Well, she also mentioned how he was in love with Kat, and they, and how they was together at one time. So she mentioned all of that." And so he was like, "Well, since you know about how I grew love for someone in an awkward situation because I lived there, now you need to know. I know about awkward situations on your end with a brother and sister."
I'm sorry.
So she mentioned that she knew about that.
Okay.
And then she had her the knights. They was ready to cut his throat.
Yeah, because he was like, knowledge is power. And normally knowledge is power. That's what they taught us in Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock, right? Knowledge is power. But listen, she tried to let him know, like, turn around, step back 3 times, close your eyes, slit his throat. All of this stuff. She did all of these little commands, and then she says, power is power.
Power is power at the end of the day. And that for me, that was the line for me.
Power is power. Yeah. I don't know what possessed him to think, to get all slick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know that you probably thinking that maybe because she's the queen mother, that is, maybe she's not really a force anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you still got to remember that she is a Lannister. Like, she's the most, really the most powerful. She's the king's mother, and she's also the most powerful man's daughter,
right?
The richest man's daughter. Why would you play yourself?
Yes,
I don't know. I didn't understand that with him right there. And
when he was so smart and calculated, so I think he might have just been smelling himself from what happened with Ned or something, because he thought he had the upper hand, but he came at her totally sideways. I'm like,
he came at her. She put him right in his place.
Because I
hightailed it out of there too.
When I first saw this, I remember thinking he was going to die for real.
I thought he was at first, and I thought he was.
Yep. I thought he was going to die because I was like, ooh, he done really screwed himself up, honey. And at that time, I didn't care about him. I just thought, okay, I guess his time is up.
Right.
I mean, I still didn't care about him, but I'm just saying.
Okay, y'all want to go to the wall at Craster's Keep?
Yes. Well, where's that now? That's
They not.
Yeah, Craster's Keep. They left the wall, but they're at Craster's Keep, like you said. They're in. I don't know if it's considered wildling territory really, but he is kind of like he's considered a wildling, but it's like he's off in his own little, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they
area.
said that it's abandoned. It's like an abandoned wildlands camp. That's
okay.
Weird. So they moved on, and he kind of
stayed there with him and his daughters, and that's and you know he got his whole little. You know, his little what you call it?
Situation. Situation
he got his little arrangement going on. We're not going to talk about that yet.
Don't look at my daughters.
Yeah, right. He's like, what's that? Samuel said it's been 6 months since I seen a girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's gonna be a whole lot more
open too.
Another girl.
Poor baby.
I just like looking at the girls.
He was like, you know, he even them walking away, he's like, I miss girls. I love them. And he said, even looking them walk away or something he said in what's his name? Gren, he said, I prefer seeing them walk towards me, you know, because he gets played. Sam don't get no play, you know.
Oh, right.
But you know what? This is one thing about this scene is when they met. This is the Jon Snow. He asked a very important question. He says, if he marries his daughters, what does he do with his sons? Right? And everybody doesn't know that. But then they go into the keep, and Craster is talking and, you know, saying all this stuff about him and his daughters and about all the wildlings. You know, they're just talking. You're kind of getting like the little backstory. Hey, and he says, you Southerners, right? And Jon Snow speaks up, which he shouldn't have. And he's like, we're not Southerners, you know. But he doesn't understand because the wildling territory is further up north. They claim to be the real north. So when they was leaving out, Jon Snow, he grabs him up, as the Lord Commander grabbed him up, like, what? Who are you? You know, Jon was still being a little I don't want to say insubordinate, but he kind of was. He did need to be put in his place, because did you see how he looked at Lord Commander's hand like
he was being defiant.
Yeah, like, you touching me? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I didn't even realize it until on rewatch how he has like an arrogance to him. He stays below the radar, like you can almost misread it. Because I felt like I misread it, but when I watched it again, I was like, "Oh, he a little snappy. You know what I'm saying? He got a little fire up underneath him like that." So I was like, okay.
Little full of yourself, boo. So I was like, "What the heck is going on here with him?" But he said, "Who are you?" He said, Jon Snow." He said, "Who are you?" Right? And he said, I'm your steward." And he said, "Do you want to lead?" And Jon says, yes. He said, then you need to learn how to follow. And I think that kind of like
a perfect thing.
Right. And I think that once he heard that, it kind of helped bring him down just a little bit. You know what I mean? Because he started to realize, like, okay, there's levels to this thing. Mm-hmm. And he probably remembered what Sam told him, like, he's trying to groom you for command, you know, so you better freaking follow suit, you know. You over here jumping and talking out of your turn. You ain't supposed to talk.
Right.
But you know what set him off, right?
What? Because he said
they was talking about his uncle Benjen. That's what really got him. He was like, he was saying he didn't like his uncle Benjen because he talks down to him and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah.
He heard that.
Kind of had to stop watching it real quick, so certain things is not fresh in my head anymore.
Look, I'm not on point like
because I know he spoke up. You're probably right, but he spoke up once they called them once they call them Southerners.
Yeah, but he had mentioned he said that, and then he was talking about Benjen.
Yeah,
right. Jon Snow wonder.
Because they were saying he was telling them that they was looking for him.
What's going on? I'm sorry. I'm looking at this thing.
Yeah. Support came and said Jon Snow wanted all the smoke.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. And
you know, who are you? He's like Jon Snow, and then he was like, you bastard.
Yeah, he's like, and he got the nerve. You know, he's a bastard too.
I know, right?
Calling him a bastard, like, you stupid.
Maybe because the ambassador of a high lord is maybe it's worse, but I would think it'd be better. But I think that's why everybody in the show kept trying to knock Jon down a peg, because you remember the wildling girl that he fell in love with. Nothing, Jon Snow. Like everybody was just like, just cutting him off at the knees because he was just doing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I was supposed to read it. Jon was raised by Ned and was treated basically like a highborn. So he feels like he could say whatever he feels. Exactly.
I think with him is that he wasn't treated by a highborn from everybody. He definitely was mistreated by Sansa and mistreated by the mother, the wife, what's her name? Cat. But the father, just that lifestyle, it's that highborn lifestyle. So that's what made him
down on others.
Yeah. And it was weird because it's like you would think that he would kind of have some kind of humility, knowing you didn't like how you were treated. And whenever, like when the king and them came, they didn't even let him into the hall or sit at the table because they felt that it would be disrespectful and all of that stuff. So for him to be pushed on to the back burner like that, you would think that he would kind of be a little more, I don't know, have a heart towards other people.
Right.
But everybody ain't like that. So it's funny that he be so, uppity. I'm better than everyone here.
All right. So winding down to the last 10 minutes or whatever, because we have to go do Snowfall. Yeah. I want to run through these questions.
Are we going to talk about Joffrey getting smacked?
Oh, when did he get smacked? Sure. In this episode? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, she sure did.
He was disrespectful.
And they made listen, it was so quiet in there.
They was in the middle of cleaning up. Oh,
they were like, and then when he looked around, he tried to get back on the ladder. Let me act like I'm working again. You're like, I ain't just see you get fire snacked out of you.
Smacked him harder than Tyrion did.
Then he gonna tell his mother, what you just did was punishable by death. You would never do it again. I'd have been like Tyrion. Bop. Tyrion just did not care, okay?
Right.
He did not care. Like,
he smacked him more than once. I think it was like 3 times.
Yeah, it was like 3.
What's that second episode? And then he smacked him another time down the road. While he was a king.
What do I think about this episode? What would I give it?
I'm gonna take it down. I'm gonna take it down a little bit. It's a rebuild, and so it's not gonna be high for me. But what do you think?
Like a 7.
Yeah.
Did we see Arya?
No.
Okay.
That's why I always got that. What character didn't we see? So we didn't see Arya.
Okay. That's weird that they wouldn't show Arya, right?
I think they mentioned
her. But, yeah. Now that they know that she left the castle, and they can't. Well, Tyrion found out that she's gone. They don't know where she is because they was gonna negotiate with her.
Right. They mentioned her,
and he was like, "You beheaded one star, and now we only have one to bargain with."
He basically called her incompetent. Rating, I would say, I don't know. It's hard for me to rate this because as I was watching it today, like trying to watch the most of it as I could, it's one of those episodes that give me a good feeling. So I don't know. Maybe because part of the weather was beautiful looking. I don't know where they were in King's Landing.
Except for when they was with Daenerys.
Yeah, Daenerys and Jon Snow. Hey Savannah. So let me say, I guess a 7.
Yeah.
It was good enough.
I'm right there at a 7 too. And that's still a good score, you guys, just in case you don't know.
I feel like you're right. It is a build-up episode.
Right. Anybody have a favorite scene?
When he got smacked, that was my favorite scene.
Oh yeah. That could be
I don't.
And just for that, he is the MVP of the
Aww. I'm gonna probably give the MVP. Well, I mean, I can't really give it to him, but I want to give him an A for effort because he tried. Look, he tried to. He saw the threat. I'm talking about Mesa Crescent. He saw the threat. He tried to take it out, but he couldn't.
And they also
and you know I like people like that, but
right.
They also was looking for his bastard children in this episode. They started the hunt for them.
Mm-hmm. And then then they had to show at the end them driving away and Gendry getting into the that little truck, and he had the helmet next to him, so they had to show Arya then. That's not this episode?
You didn't see Arya at the end? I didn't make it see
Arya. You know what? It might have been brief.
Because it was at the very end.
It was brief at the very end.
The very end, because they
card, I think.
Yeah, because they were getting in, and Gendry got on there with the helmet, because that's when they showed the guy pressing down the dudes, the guy that makes the steel or whatever. I forgot what he's the armory. Mm-hmm. He does he makes armor print. That's what whatchamacallit was the armor apprentice. What the heck is this? Sorry. What's name was the armor apprentice? Like some bug crawling. And he was holding it down to like the coal, like, trying to.
Oh, yeah, right at his head.
I don't know what the heck was going on, but he said his name is Gendry. He has a bull's helmet. And that's when it shows Gendry getting on to like the back of the cart or whatever.
Yeah, the cart, yes.
And I think Arya was walking, and that's that.
Okay.
So
well, we're winding down. We're gonna go ahead and give our MVP. Shout out to you, Tyrion. So thank you so much for joining us. No, I was telling everybody, thank you for joining us. We got to head on over to Lamont's channel. Y'all make sure y'all go over. We're going to be giving our thoughts on the newest, craziest episode.
Oh my God.
Of Snowfall.
What the heck was that?
You better come over there, and we better see you in the chat.
Unbelievable.
Bye.
Raja.
Hold on.